I've been trying to find joy where I can. So I started to make myself feel just a little bit elevated and different in this space that I have to spend all of my time. So I've been buying upscale scented candles just to feel like I'm a little bit somewhere else. And over the course of our 7 months of quarantine, I've spent over $1,000 on scented candles.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Which means for the amount that I've spent on scented candles to feel a little bit like I'm somewhere else, I could just be somewhere else. I could have done quarantine in the Bahamas.
That's just, I can't. It's like gay Republicans. I don't get it. Or Latinos for Trump. I don't get it. It's like, ant voting for a giant shoe. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I was on a year ago, I was doing a gay river cruise, and there was actually a Trump supporter on the ship. And after my set, came up to me quite drunk and said, why are you talking about politics? And I said, because it's my act. I just talk about what he goes. And then he got right in my face, Teamster style, and said, Trump 2020. And then stumbled away. And I was really rattled because I just come off stage and I was like, what's going on? So the first thing I did was I walked up to 5 of the biggest lesbians on the ship. I have a prison mentality, you either align yourself with the biggest bitches or you shiv one of them. And I chose the former. And I told all of them what had just happened, and he laid pretty low for the rest of the trip.
You used to be like, man, George Bush looks really good. And now you're like, no, legitimately, we're longing for presidents no one ever liked or gave a shit about previously. It's like, longing for the days of presidents I've never heard. Like, back in the good old civil days of William Howard Taft. God, that man could fill a tub. What a great hero William Howard Taft was.
So we get to the airport, and as we're pulling into the United drop-off, she throws up. It's like a horror film where she opens her mouth and green beans start coming out. They hit the back of the taxi driver's head. She sprays the back of the taxi cab with green beans. She turns to me going, the cab is filled with green beans. Am I being punked? It's so over the top. And I'm going, okay.
Oh my God.
I'm covered in green beans squishies on the back of this guy's head. He was wiping green beans on the back of his head. We get out of the van. Okay, so this is also before Venmo so I'm freaked out. We're getting out of the cab. We're dripping, green beans are dripping off of us. We're standing on the side. And I look at my wallet and I have only $50 in my wallet. That's all the cash I have. And there's no way to give him it. There's, it's not now. Okay. And I hand this guy the $50 and I said, oh my God, you can't even work now because he couldn't have another person in his cab. I mean, it was filled with green beans. Oh, and so I gave him the $50. And he said, don't worry, ma'am, I have children myself. And I'm telling you, I will think of that guy every week.
Jackson used to throw up just like a regular kid. Sometimes it got in my mouth because, of course, every parent is looking at the kid in the face, just like the other moms were saying. You're looking at your kid and you're like, what can I do to help you? And they're like, it's a law of averages. Phoebe used to be really good at throwing up toward whatever was most expensive. Phoebe, do you feel sick? Where's the antique books? It just felt like, she would just be like, I do feel sick. Where's the cashmere throne?
There are a lot of people who, about this election, keep saying, that they feel like Joe Biden is a bit of a compromise. And to that, I would like to say, yes, he is a compromise. You compromise in every fucking aspect of your life. I would like you to turn to your spouse or partner and look at a human being who you chose through a series of compromises. This was not the dream relationship that you imagined for yourself when you were 11. This is the best thing you could get off of Tinder, and that's what you're making a life with, and that's a good thing. Why is the selection of one executive for 300 million people the one situation where you can't brook a compromise? Here's what I'm saying. Electing a president is like ordering a pizza with 300 million other people. You're gonna get a cheese pizza. No matter how much you want sausage and mushrooms, no matter how much, you're gonna get a cheese pizza. And you're probably like, but Guy, some people are vegan. Yeah, they are. They're gonna have to scrape that cheese off. Because if we don't vote for that cheese pizza, we're gonna get a shit calzone. And we've eaten one of those for the past 4 years. So suck it up and vote for the cheese pizza.
Change makes us so